This is Shigesato Itoi, the creator of EarthBound Beginnings. The following describes his mindset when designing the final area of EarthBound Beginnings. We're going to be conquering that area this episode. This is Mount Itoi. Consisting of 3 main areas, we'll have to trek through the caves, the plateau, and peak to reach our destination, that being of course the very top of the mountain where we will finally confront our adversary and hope to save the world. The problem? It's hard. Like, really hard. These 3 images perfectly describe Mount Itoi. This area was literally not playtested. There are some crazy hard enemies, and honestly, I'm gonna need some help. As of right now though, this is about as prepared as I can be. So without further ado, let's finish EarthBound Beginnings. Here are the caves. Here's a picture of the map. Need I say more? I think not. So this area isn't exactly fun, as is to be expected. However, there are some very good weapons in here that we are most definitely going to grab. Starting with this wonderful katana that will significantly increase Teddy's offense because he definitely needs that. And while that was certainly sarcastic, I am never against buffing Teddy. Teddy is not the only one who is getting a significant upgrade, however. Every current party member has their ultimate weapon in this area. These ultimate weapons are requisite for success. The iron skillet is Anna's ultimate weapon, and Hank's bat, Ninten's ultimate weapon. The real challenge starts as soon as we step out of these caves. This is where the random encounters get crazy. We are fighting none of them because they are simply too hard and I just am going to run. And I have made a grave mistake. I thought I could take them. I genuinely thought, there's just one of them. I could take them. We just got ultimate weapons. Surely nothing too bad can happen, right? Ninten's a stone. I have no guarantee of running away now. Teddy, as always, is my last hope. Thankfully, Teddy is more than enough. And we have reached the healer's house. Consider this the first and only checkpoint of Mount Itoi. And an important checkpoint it is. It's at this point that we get some incredibly important development. Ninten and Anna dance together. It's a touching moment that illustrates an exceptionally important theme present throughout the entire Mother series. Love. This scene is the culmination of Ninten and Anna's friendship, a relationship that blossomed through the unforgettable experiences they've had together. As their journey comes to an end, they reflect on how much they've grown and how much more powerful they've become due to this love. Getting to this point would have been impossible without it. There is an excellent comment on the St. Paul's Cathedral Choir cover of the 8 Melodies that says as follows. When you think about it, the series is all about love. And those who understand it, and those who don't. Why are you two blushing? Did you hear those loud noises? Those noises coming from outside. R7038 draws near. You broke my tank. I hate you. This is a rematch. The difference is that while Teddy, as good of a tank as he is, unfortunately is not invincible. I think we could take him though. With Anna's PSI powers, PK Freeze Gamma will be able to reduce his HP to... there was no effect. Ninten's dead. Well, Teddy, last one alive as always. I believe. That was a good run. Oh! The tank! It's back! And Lloyd! Oh shoot, I missed! Love comes in many forms, and in this case, unbreakable friendship. Lloyd has come back to save Ninten and the crew. Lloyd understands love. Teddy has been injured in the life-saving shot. Although brute strength came a long way, he now understands that it is not enough to overcome Gygas. Teddy understands love. Now, it is the weakling's turn. Possibly the greatest redemption arc in all of media. Lloyd is back, my friends. And, well... about the same. And while he was able to save us, that checkpoint did not exactly last very long. It's time to trek all the way back to where we were with one less Teddy. It's time for round 2. And I failed to pay attention. Fantastic. And that, my friends, is why you save when given the opportunity. Maybe brute strength was necessary. This was a mere taste of the dangers of Mount Itoi. A single slip-up could send you all the way back to the beginning, or worse. The second time went about as well as the first. I barely scraped by, but managed to make it back. Time for round 2.5. I have learned my lesson, and am not going to fight anything except for blue starmen, because apparently that's the only thing this team can handle. We made it back. Unfortunately, this is a free hotel next to random encounters, and Ninten does not have nearly enough PP to make it all the way to our destination, while continuously using 4th dimension slip. We need to buff this party up. It is time for a very significant grind. This was simply not fun in the slightest. The enemies on the plateau are infinitely harder than those in the caves. Even after creating a strategy involving the use of PK Freeze Gamma to one-shot enemies, I found myself consistently heading back to the healer after nearly every encounter. That being because, for the most part, the enemies had the same strategy. The enemy's use of Freeze Gamma and Omega, Stone Origin, or Final Blow made the loss of a party member nearly guaranteed every encounter. This was by far the most tedious thing I've done in EarthBound Beginnings, but unfortunately was necessary, as I wasn't done quite yet. After 5 hours and 5 more levels, it's time to actually progress. That took a ridiculous amount of time, and hopefully because of that I will never have to grind ever again. Luckily those levels have allowed me to progress to the next area. We are now at the lake, and in this lake is somehow a boat. This boat is broken, but Lloyd fired it right up. Let's go, Lloyd. And this is the new tank. This is our new party member. It's immediately destroyed. That was fun. And now we're in Duncan's factory. Just kidding, it's a submarine and is way cooler than Duncan's factory. Long elevators are always cool. Cool indeed. Running past the fish and up a ladder, our heroes discover an inactive robot. Feeling Ninten's presence, the robot came back to life. My name is Eve. I have been waiting for you. My creator was George. He was taken to the end of my bad, then brought back. Later. I am here to protect you. That is my purpose. Possibly the most powerful lines of dialogue ever spoken in video games. This is Eve, the greatest party member. My previous statement was not hyperbolic in the slightest. It simply makes a quite literally untested area almost fair. Let me demonstrate. 1048 damage is enough to one-shot any enemy in the game. Eve is the only thing allowing us to reach the peak of Mount Itoi. While this is an extremely difficult area, there is a very good item that we can pick up that, not unlike the ultimate weapons we just picked up, is the best piece of equipment that you can pick up in this game. This is the Sea Pendant. It has the highest defense stat in the game and defends against every piece of PSI. As is tradition, a precedent stemmed from my first playthrough of this game. I will immediately drop the Sea Pendant because I think it is funny. I did it on accident my first playthrough and have done it in every Mother game ever since. In only a few more vines, we'll have reached our destination. However, R7038XX has appeared. This is our final test before the final boss. We may not have a tank, and we may not have Teddy, but Eve should be more than enough. Show 'em what you're made of. Battle was long and hard fought, with both titans trading extreme blows. Ultimately, as a last resort, Eve was forced to self-destruct, destroying the enemy in the process. Robot Eve was demolished and moved no more. As a final gift, Eve plays a tune from her destroyed body. It's another piece of the melodies. One more melody, and we can save the world. After Eve's death, the climb is significantly harder. Unable to handle most of the enemies, Ninten is forced to constantly use 4th Dimension Slip, draining him of PP. Luckily, a solid amount is left by the time the summit is reached. At the summit, a grave is discovered. A crystal begins to float and shine as it begins to speak to the party. It reveals that Queen Mary is Ninten's great-grandmother, Maria. Her love was scattered in the form of melodies we've been collecting the whole journey. The crystal provides our heroes with the 8th and final melody. Do you remember what those were for? At the very beginning of our journey, Queen Mary asked us to find the 8 melodies so she could remember her lullaby. Although we've just gotten here, it's important that we fulfill our promise and return to Magicant. This time, Groucho, it's time to say goodbye. Queen Mary, we've been successful in our quest. Please sing to me the melodies that you have learned. After hearing the song, Queen Mary reveals that she raised Gygus as a child. The melodies compose a lullaby that she would sing to Gygus when he would need to calm down. Confirming her bloodline relationship to Ninten, Maria calls to her husband, George, and claims to join him as her purpose is complete. Maria understands love. Magicant is revealed to be a mirage born of Maria's consciousness. Thank God we're still at the top of Mount Itoi. I thought we had to climb the whole thing again. We've reached our destination. This room contains all of the people that Gygus has abducted. All of the parents of Youngtown, Anna's mother, etc. This is our driving force to finish EarthBound Beginnings. We have one more door to go through before the final boss. Let's go. One second. You saw nothing. Let's go. Oh, this is pleasant, isn't it? Let's change things up a little bit, shall we? Ninten, I am grateful to your family. Your great-grandparents, George and Maria, raised me. But George stole vital information from our planet that can be used to betray my people. And now, one of his descendants is obstructing our plans and must be stopped. Ninten, I am talking about you. Well, No tank, no Teddy, no boat, no Eve. All we have is ourselves and our PSI. Let's give it everything we've got. Well, that worked out great. There's not much we can do. Despite an onslaught, our attacks seemingly have no effect. Right now, the best we can do is defend and heal. Go home now. Perish with the rest of the ugly Earth people. The form of Gygas's attack was inexplicable. Foolish one, you cannot do a thing with your meager powers. Powers worthy of a lowly insect. Ninten, you alone. I may save you, just you alone. Board our mothership with me. But to do so would mean to give up on the journey that we've come so far on. As such, I must refuse. I came all this way, and I intend to finish what I've started. Normally, Lloyd has been guarding. However, we have a new command. Do you recall Maria informing us of Gygas's lullaby? And don't you recall Gygas being thankful to Maria? If physical attacks don't work, emotional damage may be our only option. I wrote that. I really wrote that. Stop singing. It seems we've hit a nerve. The song may be too much for Gygas to handle. This is our best bet, so let's keep trying. Stop singing. Stop. Stop the song. Stop it. Stop that song. You puny little earth bug. The song. Stop it. Stop. Please stop.
I say,
How could I be defeated by a song like that? I will sometime. Ninten, we shall meet again. And Lloyd finishes EarthBound Beginnings. How the heck did I let that happen? When you think about it, the Mother series is about love, and those who understand it, and those who don't. Gygas understands love. He was shown it by Maria, and showed it right back. Gygas was forced to invade Earth to retrieve the invaluable information stolen by George. Despite this, he attempts to show mercy to Ninten, a descendant of his loved one. It's highly likely that Gygas was the most powerful being in existence at that time, yet he was defeated by love. I'll say it again. Gygas understands love. So, who doesn't? George. George left his wife for information. George rejected back his life for information. George rejected love as a whole for information. But this information led to the creation of Eve, who contained a melody. Without Eve, Gygas would not have been stopped. Without George rejecting love, the world would not have been saved. The Mother series portrays love as being the most powerful force in the world, whether that be the extreme passion for it, or the extreme lack of it. Not understanding love can be just as powerful as understanding it, and sometimes even more powerful.